We have our small screwdriver. We're going to stick it in that hole right there, and we're going to orient it to where the flat tip is turned. And it just takes a little bit of doing, and we're going to pop out the, there we go. See, got the airbag popped here. Now do the same thing on the other side in that small hole there. Boom. All right. So there's our airbag module. All we need to do is disconnect that wiring harness. We can use our needle nose pliers for here and here. Let's go grab those. All right, we have our needle nose pliers here. We're just going to remove this wiring harness and this wiring harness. This one will be the one that can get our airbag out. There we go. Airbag removed. Boom. Now, this one we're going to undo as well. All right. Always a good idea, you guys, before removing any wiring harnesses, just snap a quick picture. That way you can reference it later. Now we are going to take our 10mm hex head socket, and it's going to go right in the center there. We're going to use our legs to kind of stabilize the wheel, and we're going to crank that and loosen it. All right, that took quite a bit of force to break our nut, but we are good. We can undo it now and pop the steering wheel off. Just finish removing this bolt by hand. There it goes. That's our guy right there. He's going to live in the cup holder. And now the steering wheel should come right off. We're just going to kind of wiggle it, and there we go. Let's get it inside and get the guts out of this one and into the new one. All right, on the back side of our OEM wheel, we have these 3 sets of plastic tabs or clips. We're going to go ahead and remove those, and they just kind of push out on the other side here. So we'll use our small screwdriver. There we go, there's one. There's 2. There's 3. You see here, that piece is now loose and removed. And then we're going to undo our 4 T25 screws. We have one there, 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 and there. And now this whole assembly should just kind of pop out. It's just done with little clips, so you can feel it as it starts to loosen. There we go. We have our wheels side by side here. We're going to remove this little plate, and that's connected by these 2 tiny little screws. We're going to find the right screwdriver for it. I think it's a T5, so we're going to be really careful with, and it's not those. Oh yeah, it is those 2 screws right there and there. And this will be our wiring harness that we'll replace with here. This is for the heated steering wheel, and then we'll get everything put back together. So those screws there are actually a T10, which I do have, so we'll be able to get those off without too much issue. Be able to pop that plate off. Go. Now we can remove this connector here. All right, now we are fully removed, and we're going to put everything back the same way. Do not forget to take out this tensioning band. And that's actually going to be the first thing that we're going to put into our new wheel. That is so much easier to do now than it would be after the fact. We're going to remove this entire assembly here because we're going to use our OEM assembly instead of fully taking all the guts out. You certainly can go through those extra steps, but my original assembly was still good, so for me there was no reason to not reuse it. There we go. Now, first thing we'll do is reconnect our heated steering wheel. Great. We can put it back in a little holster. And then we will just slowly put things back the way they went in. Shoot, I forgot to put this plate with our tiny screws on, so let's take it out and do it again. All right, our two T10 screws are in. Now we can set our control plate into the steering wheel. And everything just kind of pushes and clips in. And then our 4 T25 screws will be the ones that will hold everything together. So we'll go ahead and get those in now. All right, all of our screws are back in. We're going to just push our 3 sets of little clips back in. That'll be the last step here. You can hear them seat. You can see a little clip actually clips in right there. So pretty simple. All right, there we go. We are ready to hopefully get this installed in the vehicle the first time. See if we can do it right. All right, we're back in the car. We have our new Yoke steering wheel. Something super important. We want to make sure we put this on as straight as possible. If not, we're going to fool with our alignment. So put the camera down and get this straight. Come right back. All right, we are seated nice and square. As you can see, our 2 wiring harness setups are here. So we're going to go ahead and plug this guy back in. Perfect. Now we're going to get our big old monster bolt, our 10mm hex in there. Let's start it by hand. Make sure we get it going properly. Want to cross thread that. That would not end up well for us. Hand tighten here. Now you can certainly get a torque wrench if you want to be super specific. I don't own a torque wrench, so we're just going to go ahead and crank this down nice and tight. Again, you just want to use your legs or free hand to stabilize, and we're just going to go ahead and get this really, really tight. I'm going to use my other hand. All right, we're super locked in here. Now we're going to put our airbag assembly back in. We're just going to plug in our yellow plug there into that port. and then push the actual airbag in. So the airbag is connected. Our 3 prongs just go right into the slots there. We're going to push it in, and there it goes. You can hear it clip. Do a quick horn test. Perfect, that works.